Hey everyone, I'm Kylie. I am a recruiter here at Katapult Network. Today I am going to talk to you about how to respond when an interviewer starts by simply saying, "Tell me about yourself." It may seem like a straightforward question, but there is more to it than you might think. You may have heard advice about preparing an elevator pitch. This is the time to use it. If you are not familiar with the term, an elevator pitch is a concise way to tell someone who you are without giving them your whole life story. Picture this. You step onto an elevator and you see someone who works in a company that you want to work for. You have 60 seconds or less to introduce yourself, tell them who you are, and tell them what you want before they arrive at their floor. What do you say to let them know who you are, remember you, and possibly open up opportunities? The things you would use in the situation are similar to what you would say in your interview. One thing to keep in mind, each elevator pitch or tell me about yourself needs to change based on the situation that you're in. A networking elevator pitch will be different than what you would use in various job interviews. This tell me about yourself question is often used as a way to ease into a conversation before diving into your resume or asking more formal interview questions. Your interviewer wants to know a little bit more about you beyond your resume. They want to see if you would fit in with the company culture, what led you to this interview, and what your vision for the future is. This answer should be somewhat more conversational than the rest of your interview answers. Show a little bit of your personality. You want a well-rounded answer. Be sure to include your most recent experience, education if you're a recent grad, what you're looking for in your next career, a skill you have that would be used in the job that you're interviewing for, why you're excited about this opportunity in brief, and then also a fun fact about yourself. These can be rearranged, but make sure that it flows nicely. And then also make sure to practice. The more you practice, the more naturally confident that you will be. Inject your personality and passion into it. You don't want to sound like you're reciting words off of a flashcard, making you sound like a robot. It should be conversational and natural. For example, if you are a recent college graduate interviewing for an administrative assistant position in a small recruiting agency, you could say, "I recently graduated from Minnesota State University Mankato with a degree in communication studies. During college, I worked at the front desk in the advising office. While I was there, I learned how to stay organized and really developed my communication skills by interacting with students and faculty in a variety of ways. I'm looking for a position where I can use my organizational and communication skills by supporting a team within an office setting. I've seen how much my friends are struggling to find a job after graduation, which is why I'm so excited to explore this opportunity and potentially use my skills to help others in the same situation. On a personal note, I enjoy exploring new hobbies in my spare time. The most recent hobby that I have picked up is gardening." Here are some things to be careful with. Find the right balance between how much you're sharing. You don't need to mention everything about each job experience. That is what your resume is for. Avoid potentially contentious subjects such as political or religious leanings. Be careful not to share information that is too personal about yourself or your family, such as health or child planning details. Be honest and don't offer information that isn't completely true. You never know when you'll be asked about something in more detail. And also, don't talk about a hobby that might seem to be more important to you than your career, such as traveling. You don't want them to worry you'll be taking off a lot of time to travel. A few final thoughts. Make sure to think through this question before your interview and be aware of how long it takes you to answer. Typically, we recommend no more than a minute to get through everything that you want to say. Although you are the expert on yourself, you want to make sure your answer is well-rounded and that it flows nicely. It can be helpful to think of it as the interviewer asking you about your strengths and skills while crafting your answer. Highlight what is relevant to the position. You may be worried about repeating yourself throughout the interview, but don't be. These are your strengths and skills that you'll be using to prove that you are the right fit for this position. It's okay to have a theme throughout the interview. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions about how to tell an interviewer about yourself or other interviewing questions that you would like answered, leave them in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and next week we will be sharing how to tell someone why they should hire you.